Hello and welcome back. Well, I thought we'd take a moment to have a look at a tool that we are going to be using during the modelling of our Messerschmitt, and it's the object paint. Okay, so how do we access this? Well, you will have noticed that it has been open throughout all the tutorials. However, it is accessible via this icon here, Graphite Modelling Tool. Click on that and it opens up this section. Now, we have been using the graphite modelling tool to some extent. Well, when I say some extent, we've used the Swift loop, but we haven't really looked at object paint. Okay, double click on the object paint here and it opens up all our options. Now, you'll notice in our viewport that we have various pieces of geometry. Down here in the bottom right hand corner we also have two additional pieces, one which is basically a rivet and one which is a bolt. And I'm going to be using object paint to paint these on to these various surfaces. Okay, so how do we start? Well, we start by selecting the geometry that we want painting on. So we pop up here, click that, and I think we'll go for the rivet. Now, it has been selected and we can tell that because it says rivet there, but if we click that it opens up an object box here and we can see rivet has been selected. We can pick as many pieces of geometry as we like, and of course we could place those in order as well, and we can also remove them. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Next, we need to decide what we're going to paint on, and we go in here and we can select grid or objects or the scene. We're not going to bother with the scene at all, but let's select grid. Now we'll pop to our paint tool, click on that, and you'll see that we have a check mark or a tick and a cross. Left click with the mouse, and what I'm doing now is painting. There we go. Take your mouse off the left button to end the action. Okay, that's fine. What can we do with them? Well, we can do various things with them. We can increase the size. We can adjust the rotation either on the x-axis or the y-axis or in the z-axis. Now, you don't see anything moving because they're actually rotating about themselves. Okay, so let's zero these out, and if we want to offset them we can actually use these down here. Click on those and as you can see they're being offset. Zero that one. Zero that, and there we go as well. Interesting. What about the spacing? Yes, we can increase or decrease the spacing as well. Well, that's all well and good. What else can we do? Well, let's click the X first of all, and that'll cancel the actions. Now I'm going to come down here and just select, well, right click, select the sphere, then I'm going to change this section and say we're going to paint on the selected object. Pop up to our paint again, click, and now I'm painting on the surface of the sphere. So there again, another interesting set of possibilities for our modelling. Let's cancel that action. Now deselect. What I want to do is select this tube here. I'm going to pop into our graphite modelling tools and obtain a swift loop. Let's put one about there. Right click to end that action. I'm going to pop in here, select the edge, and because we've just created that, that's the edge which has been automatically selected then. Now let's pop into our object pane once more. You may notice that we now have available this box or icon here, and that's the fill. Now if I press that, now we can see some real possibilities for this tool. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, they look quite big at the moment, but of course we can modify them. Let's reduce the size. There we go. We don't really need to adjust their rotation. That's quite fine. They're adhering to the surface. That's great. We could, where it's got fill here, it's set to 40. If we wanted to reduce that, there we go, 16. Or we could increase it. In fact, we can continue modifying it until we click on this box here, the tick. Let's just do that for this one. Okay, what does that mean? Right, well, at the moment we have 67 individual rivets. Let's just swing this round a little bit. I come up to editable poly there, deselect. If I select that rivet there, we can actually move it. We can do anything with it. It is an isolated piece of geometry. We could increase the scale of it. So at this stage we can do anything we want. But of course that means that we've got 67 pieces of separate geometry as well. Okay, well, what I want to do is attach these to this geometry. Right, let's select it. Over here where it's got attached, let's go attach list. Now if I pop down there, and we've got rivet 1, and go down to rivet 68, press shift, select that, and we say attach. Now they're attached to our geometry. They also have the colour of our geometry, which is shocking. Let's change that. Steel grey. Okay. Okay, so we've now got our geometry, our rivets attached to our geometry there. And I'm sure you can start seeing the possibilities of this with our Messerschmitt. Now of course we don't have to use our swift loop. Let's just deselect that. Let's select this. Yes, we can use existing edges. Let's have a look. Select that one, press shift, select that one. Let's get rid of the, what we call it. Okay, now I'm going to pop up here. I want to pick an object. We'll go for the nut or the bolt this time. Okay, let's pop in here. Rivet at the top. I'm going to say move up for the bolt. That's fine. Now, what if I put in fill for that? Well, we've got 67 bolts. Let's reduce that down. 13. Let's reduce the size. And there we go. Say OK with that. Now let's select an other edge. That one and that one. Now it will only work on one edge at a time. You can't go selecting them and then go fill. I've tried it, it doesn't work. But anyway, 11 bolts. Let's go fill. Let's say OK for that. Select these, press shift, fill. Great. So now you can really see how we can use this in our modelling. But again, these are separate pieces of geometry. What we need to do is pop up there, click on attach, bolt 1 all the way through to bolt 33, press shift and say attach, and now they're attached to that geometry. Okay, hope you've learned something from this. Use it, practice with it, get to know it. It is an interesting set of tools. Well, as always, mindful of the time, I will bring this session to a close. I'll catch you later.